cold in here to you? Oh my god. What was that? No, I did not sign up for jump scares on this channel, okay? No, this is not okay. I am not here for this. No.
Please stand by.
Well, hello there, and welcome to another of my Should You Play series, Spooky Edition. Today we are talking about the emos of D&D, the edgelords themselves, the Warlock. No, let me preface this by saying your Warlock does not need to look like it shops at Hot Topic, but a girl can dream, right? Anyway, Warlocks. What are they like, and should you play one in your next game? Warlocks are an interesting class because they have a lot of face and a lot of story, but when it comes to all the skills and all the extras in the actual gaming department, they're a little less robust than some of the other classes. Hear me out. I'm not here to rag on Warlocks. It's that when it comes to classes specifically, Warlocks are a bit of an oddball, and not just for the obvious reasons. They're pretty good with weapons, and some much more so than others. Hello, Hexblade or Pact of the Blade. And they get some really potent spells. And let's just be real here for a second. Who does not love Eldritch Blast? Every class wishes they could have that cantrip. It is the tip top of any kind of damage cantrip, and it just levels up as you level up. Mwah! That being said, you are probably going to end up using it a lot, given the number of spell slots that you have. You may know a lot of spells by the time that you're level 20, but you're a bit like an off-brand battery. A few uses and you need to recharge with a long rest or a short rest. And listen, I know right now it sounds like I am just ragging on Warlocks, but for real, they are one of my favorite classes to play of all time. Shocking, I know. But that's because the Pacts and the patrons are awesome. And look, we know you have an entire 8-page backstory about how this happened and your relationship with your otherworldly patron. That is the entire point of Warlocks. And listen, come closer. Closer. I know your party doesn't understand or care about the nightmares and the promises that you had to make to get the powers that you have. But I do. I do. So to me, Pacts are awesome. Some of these are better abilities like better dark vision or the ability to read any language, while some just help you become a better spellcaster, whether it's giving you access to spells you wouldn't otherwise have or letting you cast a spell without using a spell slot. The latter type of abilities tend to recharge after a long rest. A lot of these are specific to your pact or your patron, and boy do you have a lot of options when it comes to patrons. Like I've said before, I love Warlocks, and one of the reasons why is because of patrons. Patrons make the class so exciting. There is so much flavor in that function. And what's better than more flavor? Am I right? Bam. Now with things like the Unearthed Arcana and people trying new builds all the time, I recommend doing some research on patrons before you decide which one is best for you based on however you feel like you want to play that character. It sounds obvious, but I've seen a lot of frustration over the years of people who build their character not how they actually enjoy playing. And Warlocks can get pretty stuck in that depending on what you're going for. You want to be good at melee? Pledge yourself to a Hexblade. Feeling mischievous? Archfey. Does your party lack a primary healer and you kind of feel a little weird about playing in that moral ambiguity of some of the patrons? Try Celestials. Do you like to screw with the minds of your enemies? Maybe a great old one is the right one for you. Do you fear death? Become a master of it with the Undying. Or if you just want to go classic Warlock experience, there's always the Fiend. Again, with the Unearthed Arcana and all the other books constantly coming out, eventually, inevitably, and I probably missed some options, but those are your main set. But don't take my word on what's the best choice for you. Instead, we need to talk to an expert. And that is why I brought a special guest. Now, it says here that your name is the Orphan. Is that your proper name, like in the anime, or is it more of the doctor kind of thing? It was the name I was given. And how did you get that name? Her. I don't even want to ask. Her who? She waits in the space just out of sight. You try to turn to see her. She's not there. But in the back of your mind, you hear a voice, and it echoes, and it echoes, and it echoes, and it echoes, and it echoes. That's fun, I guess. Is she your patron? She's made me special, given me my gifts, just like I asked for. But do you trust her? I had no one. I was lost and alone, and now I have a purpose. And isn't that what life's about? A purpose? A power? A destiny? Well, sure, but it's also about fun and loved ones and enjoying being alive. Does that ring any bells? Maybe? Sort of? Like when you trick people to get what you want. So, are you part of a party? Yes, I joined up with them after helping them with some guards at the palace that were trying to detain them. I just convinced the guards to let them go, and they were very grateful. And you joined up with them on their quest. I followed them until they forgot that they thought I was unsettling. How could they forget? Great. So now you have friends. What sort of adventures do you guys get up to? There is always a quest, and she says that if I follow them, I will stay on track and be able to fulfill my destiny. Wait, what? The border will open if I find the key. No, that does not sound like a good idea. And she will bring about peace into the mortal world. Let's not do that.
Soon I will rise.
Oh my God!
Soon I will rise. Soon I will rise.
Okay, well, now I think my apartment is cursed. Fun. So if all of that seems up your alley, then maybe you should play a Warlock, but there are some things to keep in mind. On top of just choosing your patron, you also have to choose your Pacts. Those kind of things will also give you some really cool add-ons depending on what you choose. So if you want more casting options or familiar, or maybe you still want to be able to do melee but you didn't take Hexblade, that's where you're going to find those options. Now, Charisma is your big stat. This doesn't mean that you can't go creepy if you want to, because Charm and Charisma come in so many different forms. But if you also want to build a cottagecore inspired Warlock, we love to see it. Remember that no matter what, take Eldritch Blast. It is gold. Other than that, it will depend on what role that you want to fill in your party and honestly what best fits your playstyle. Do you want to be a frontline fighter? Then focus on Dex and either Pact of the Blade or Hexblade. Do you want to be the support or the face of the party? Then make sure you keep piling up on the Charisma and try to pick things that might actually help out your party. Maybe? Also, given the nature of Warlocks, it's probably best to keep your wisdom up there a little bit in case anyone tries to, you know, play some tricks with your mind. You attract the weird ones! You have options, so remember to play however is most enjoyable for you. This is a class made to let your creativity shine. Let yourself get all tangled up in it. Your party will be there to catch you, no matter how weird you might get. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know what class would you like me to cover in my next of this series, and what should our special guest name be? Tell me in the comments below, and while you're down there, maybe click that subscribe button so that you know and get notified when I post my next video. And remember that when you're gaming, please play with creativity and kindness. And as always, I have been Amy, you have been wonderful, and I will see you in my next video. Stay magic. Bye!